He's
Before we talk about the drama, let's just talk about your travel schedule, man. Ric Flair Drip is alive and well. I think you were in Arizona. I think you were in Vegas. I think you're in New York. What's your last week been like, dude?
I left well the week before we were in Montauk when the hurricane came.
Yep.
So I had to charter out to get to Montauk. Came back, and that JFK is just a monster of a drive, no matter where you are. You know, where LaGuardia is real easy to access the city. JFK 30 minutes away. So anyway, long story short, I got back from Montauk. I was here for 2 days, and then I left Wednesday for Phoenix. My flight was 4 hours delayed. Got in at 1 o'clock in the morning. One of those deals, right? And finally, let me see. I went to bed about 3 o'clock that night. Got up at 7 for PR for the launch, and then we had the launch. I had media all day, and we launched on, or we had the media launch party, or the media launch at the dispensary, and then a party afterwards for the people that have invested in the product line 2.0 or Ric Flair Drip, and sponsored by Verano, and then took a 10 o'clock flight the next day to Vegas, do the same thing, and stayed out in Vegas. You know, it's hard to go to bed in Vegas.
Yep.
And then caught a let me think. Oh yeah, 4 hour delayed flight from Vegas to New York. They got us in at 1 o'clock in the morning, and had to be working at 9 o'clock. So at the
My
Comic Con,
goodness. My goodness. Oh,
dragged in yesterday.
so you're living the old 1986 schedule right now.
We're pretty close. You know, we'll be in 15 states by the end of which will be second only to Mike by the end of the month.
Man, that's fantastic. Ric Flair Drip coming near you. Check it out. RicFlairDrip.com is where you can keep up with all.
We've got Ohio, New Jersey, Illinois coming up, all these launches. So, and I'll be making appearances at all of them. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great to see the reception from the people.
RicFlairDrip.com or on Instagram at Ric Flair Drip. Pretty fun stuff. I'm super excited to see this continue to grow and expand, and excited to pick your brain today. So, Rick, Jeremy Priest has a good question. Over on William Regal's podcast, Gentleman Villain, he mentioned you picked him as your opponent for your very last match in Japan, and he was very honored. What led you to that decision? Why'd you pick Mr. Regal?
I love Steve Regal. I think he's a fantastic guy. He's a man, legitimately tough guy. Always a gentleman, always carries himself well. Respectful as hell. I mean, I can't think of too many people that respect more than Steve.
Seth Hicks wants to know, other than the big gold, what's your favorite championship belt design of all time? I think you've told us before. It's the original 10 pounds, right?
It's the NWA, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Next up, Coach Rosie wants to know, who's going to win the 2023 Cannabis Cup, and why is it Ric Flair Drip? So tell us about the Cannabis Cup. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know about to give you an accurate explanation either. I wish I did. They were explaining it to me, but I was trying to absorb so much information over the weekend from the people that, not only the local people that sell it at the dispensaries, but the pricing and all that. And someone started explaining that to me, and I don't know. I'll have the answer for you next week.
Listen,
Ric Flair Drip.
And apparently it goes.
But I can't hang with Mike Tyson. I can tell you that.
That dude has been. I met Rick, or I met Mike like 10 years ago at an autograph signing, maybe with you.
With me, he was
boy. 10 years ago.
Is that 10 years ago?
Was still. He was promoting Ric Flair Drip before it was a thing. Let me just say that.
Oh yeah, sure he was.
Yeah,
he was promoting Tyson 2.0. Yeah, he's a great guy though, man. God, what a sincere guy. He moved to Palm Beach.
Oh, really?
His daughter is a really, really highly ranked young tennis player.
So he's not in Vegas anymore.
No, the first thing. What do you think? The first thing I asked him was, he lives in Boca Raton. I said, "Have you met Chris Everett yet?" He said, "No." I said, "Either have I."
I
I still
love it.
haven't met Chris Everett.
You got to work on that.
I'm trying.
Trevor Owens has a great introspective type question, Rick. You're going to have to really
There
think
are
about
two women that I've sat next to or stood next to for a period of time, and it's happened on two different occasions with Brooke Shields and one with Chris Everett. And I neither one of them gave me a glance. And those kind of incidents are few and far between, brother. The promoter from WWE said, maybe you should watch wrestling. About Brooke Shields. I said, I didn't watch wrestling. I'm Ric Flair. It's not just wrestling. James Bond here reporting in.
I love it so much. Chris Everett, look out. Nature Boy's coming your way.
My two favorite people to hang out with in Australia on the PR team were Money Penny and Pussy Galore. That's what I call. I said, James Bond here. Is Pussy Galore and Money Penny available?
What are we? Listen to you. I love it.
Well, Pussy Galore was a character in James Bond movie.
I'm aware.
Okay, what did I say wrong? Then Money Penny was just a secretary.
Not expecting to hear that. It's fantastic. Trevor Owens wants to know, Rick, name 3 people you need to make amends with, and what's the holdup? That's interesting because, man, as life goes on, you know, we all sort of have our fallings out here and there, and sometimes we get a little reflective and we look back and say, "Boy, I wish I had that one to do over again." Is there anybody out there you feel like you want to make amends with one day? You wish you were on better terms with again, that maybe you've fallen out of touch with, or what have you?
No, because if they fell out of touch with me, I didn't fall out of touch with them. I don't owe anybody an amends for anything. A lot of people owe me a lot of thank yous, and you know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've discussed that. It should be thank you, Rick, universally.
Raven for is there anybody out there you feel like you want to make amends with one day? You wish you were on better terms with again, that maybe you've fallen out of touch with, or what have you?
No, because if they fell out of touch with me, I didn't fall out of touch with them. I don't owe anybody an amends for anything. A lot of people owe me a lot of thank yous, and you know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've discussed that. It should be thank you, Rick, universally.
Raven for